What's up guys, Titus here from Towering Props and the web series where I show you how to make epic cosplay creations. In this episode I'll be demonstrating how to properly paint your Nerf gun. Nerf guns are great for cosplayers on a budget, and they have that awesome sci-fi look, making them perfect for Mandalorians or Borderland cosplays. And I even have one for my Mr. Freeze costume. They're also the go-to for con-safe guns, as they're pretty easy to get through weapon check. Painting them can be a trick though, especially because of their bright colors and if you still want them to function afterwards. By disassembling the gun and removing all the vital components which allow it to fire, you also make it easier to paint. So let's get started with what you need. A Nerf gun, precision screwdriver set, plastic baggies, primer and clear coat, assorted spray paint colors, and a spare bowl. So here's the complete list. Check eBay for Nerf guns before you go out and buy a new one. Sometimes you can get a lot of 3 to 4 guns for the price of a new one. You'll also need an X-Acto knife and painter's tape if you want to do detailing work. To add weathering, you'll need acrylic craft paints. Black, brown, and white should be all you need, as you can mix those 3 into any shade you want. Tool-wise, if you want to remove the branding from the Nerf gun, you'll need a Dremel with a high-grit sanding drum and a mouse sander with high-grit paper. Bottom line, this project costs about $30, so let's get started. Oh, and always wear your eye pro, unless you want to end up like Lord Gorlock.
What did you say?
Start by taking apart the Nerf gun. The screws should all be on one side of the gun. Carefully pry it open with a screwdriver. Be careful not to force it open, as some of the springs may fly out. Be sure to take lots of pictures before you remove all the pieces. You'll need these as a reference later on. Put all the pieces in separate baggies that aren't going to be painted. Next, take the Dremel with a high-grit sanding drum and remove the branding. Then with a high-grit sandpaper, smooth out all the burrs the Dremel may have left. Start by applying an even coat of primer across all the pieces. Once the primer is dry, use a metallic paint and put down a base coat. Using painter's tape and an X-Acto knife, select the areas you want the base coat to be visible. I like to cover the grips and some of the larger pieces, such as the magazines, the triggers, or any of the orange colored parts. Paint over the entire main body of the Nerf gun, leaving any pieces that don't have painter's tape on them unpainted. Be sure to let the paint cure for at least a day before the next step. Start by removing the painter's tape. Remove it evenly and carefully as to not damage the paint. Next, start by reassembling the Nerf gun using the reference pictures you took. If you have trouble putting it back together, just Google your Nerf gun and you should be able to find assembly videos. Once the gun is fully assembled, use a high-grit sandpaper to remove any of the paint from the painter's tape areas. Next, use acrylic craft paint to add weathering to the Nerf gun. For a more realistic weathering, use different layers of black, gray, and brown. I'm using just black as I'm going for a Borderlands look. Paint half the gun at a time and then wipe off with a paper towel. This removes the excess paint and gives it a great look. Paint the areas that would gather lots of dirt, such as low parts of the gun, behind the trigger, etc. Once the gun is fully weathered, apply a light coat of clear coat to the gun. Use gloss for a shiny new look, or matte for a more weathered look. There's no real limit to the amount of layers you can do with painter's tape and different color spray paints. It all depends on what you want to do. Here are some examples I've done using 2 to 3 layers. Play with color schemes and see what you can come up with. Instead of silver for the base coat, why not try black or white? And that's it! Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any questions, feel free to direct them down to the Facebook page linked down below. Help support the show by hitting the like and subscribe button, and comment down below on tutorials you'd like to see. Want more tutorials and con coverage? Head over to my website, toweringprops.com, and check it out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you at the cons. Tutorials you'd like to by hitting the like, subscribe button, and comment down below what tutorials you'd like to see. And comment down below if you have And that's it. And that's it. And that's it. And that's it. Want more tutorial? And it's done. Done for the day.